Hello, everybody. My name is Suyash. You're watching Mind, Body, Spirit. A lot of people thought that his candidacy was a joke. A lot of people thought that he was a joke, that he was running as a joke. And almost everybody was convinced that his opponent will be winning the US presidential elections. And yet, proving all of these people wrong, proving a majority wrong, Donald Trump won the elections and will be the next president of the United States. Did Donald Trump, knowingly or unknowingly, apply the law of attraction that led, at least in part, to his success? In this video, we'll be discussing that, and let's get started. So, before we begin, just a disclaimer, this video is not about politics. I didn't really follow the elections very closely, being an outsider. I live in India, as most of you know, and I don't know much. I don't know everything there is to know about either of the candidates. I know a little bit about both of them, and out of all that I know about them, there are things that I like about Hillary Clinton and things that I dislike about her, and there are things that I like about Donald Trump and things that I dislike about him. So I'm like the most unbiased person that you'll find. This is not a video about politics. This is not a video about either of the candidates. This is a video about whether one of them, or rather the one that finally won the election, applied the law of attraction or not. So just a disclaimer before we begin. So in one of my previous videos, I've explained what exactly law of attraction is. And in that video, I talked about how law of attraction is basically vibrations. It's basically energy. So to understand whether law of attraction had anything to do with Donald Trump's victory, we have to take this discussion into two separate directions. So in one direction, we'll see the energy from a global point of view. Did the global energy play a role in electing Donald Trump? And in the second direction, we'll actually be looking at individual energy. Did Donald Trump, knowingly or unknowingly, I'm not sure if he knows about the law of attraction or not, but did he knowingly or unknowingly send out the correct energies into the universe that led to his success? So let's start with the first one, global energy. There's a very famous quote that is used in the context of law of attraction a lot, and that quote is, what you resist persists. So, if I have noisy neighbors, just an example, suppose I have noisy neighbors, and of course I'm annoyed by that, right? I'm disturbed by that. And I just keep thinking that, oh, I wish the noise would reduce. So I wish my neighbors weren't noisy. I wish the noise would just go away and I wish I could live peacefully. So what I'm doing is I'm actually focusing on the noise. So I'm resisting the noise, even though my intention is to live in peace. My intention is to reduce that noise, get rid of the noise so that I can live in peace. But still, the words, the frequency that I'm emitting is one of noise. And so, what will happen is that the noise will get all the energy and noise will actually increase. There is no possibility that my neighbors will, with that thought, stop making that noise. In order to actually practically apply the law of attraction to get rid of the noise, I'll have to change my frequency and think about peace. I will have to already, even though there is noise all around me, somehow I will have to close my eyes and imagine that I'm living in peace. I'll have to, even though I'm living in a noisy environment, already be grateful to be living in peace. And once I emit the frequency of peace, what I'm actually not focusing on will drift away and what I'm focusing on will emerge. So when I focus on noise, noise is there all around me and I'm focusing on noise. I'm giving energy to noise, noise will increase. Noise is all around me, but instead of focusing on that, I focus on peace, even though peace is not there. But because I'm ignoring the noise will drift away and peace will emerge because I am giving my energy to peace. So in my life, there will be peace. That is something very crucial to the law of attraction. What you resist persists. I think something similar happens with elections as well. I remember the 2008 election where President Barack Obama was elected for the first time. There was one candidate that was getting a lot of energy, and that was Barack Obama. He was the favorite to win. Everybody thought that he's going to win because, he had this positivity around him. I believe, again, I didn't follow that election that well also, but the impression that I at least have is that Barack Obama in his first term ran a very positive campaign. It was all very positive, and he was the first African American person that was expected to win the election. He had this beautiful family, a wife and two very really sweet daughters, and so he had a lot of energy going around with him, and that was mostly, if I'm not mistaken, mostly positive energy. And that, I think, translated into votes, and that led to Barack Obama winning the election. In 2016 election, as far as I have seen, everything was to do with Donald Trump, because there were a lot of people that liked Donald Trump and they were obviously focusing on Donald Trump, but there were people that liked Hillary Clinton, and as from where I could see, even they were focusing on Donald Trump. So why do you want to elect Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump will be a good president. Why do you want to elect Hillary Clinton? Because we have to stop Donald Trump from getting elected. Now, even though you are resisting Donald Trump and you want Hillary Clinton to be elected, what is happening is that even though you are not supporting Trump, you are giving all the energy to Trump. Now, even in fact, I just remembered, I think one of the slogans, I don't know whether it was an official Hillary Clinton campaign slogan or a slogan coined by her supporters, but it was love Trump's hate. So even Hillary Clinton's slogans had the word Trump in it. So there was so much focus on Donald Trump. Now, mostly, if it is just me or if it is just a group of a few people, maybe that would not really have an effect when it comes to other people. So, it's an election that we are talking about. It's the global political scenario that we are talking about. Me and seven people, what we are thinking, maybe we will not be able to influence that. But when you're talking about an entire country, in fact, when you're talking about almost an entire global population, millions, if not billions of people, when all their energy is focused on one person, I think the laws of the universe have to get affected. I think that person and what happens with that person and how the laws of the universe work on that person, I think they do get affected because billions of people are focusing that energy on one spot, on one person. I think that has to create a difference, right? So I think because there was so much energy, even though it was negative energy, the universe doesn't recognize whether it is positive or negative. Energy is energy. And yes, I know that I've talked about that negative energy is weaker than positive energy, So you shouldn't all of a sudden be scared of all your negative thoughts. But still, just think about it. Billions of people in positive form or negative form sending their energy to one person. It has got to, have really strong and really powerful repercussions, right? So I think because a lot of energy was given to Donald Trump, it led to more people voting for Hillary Clinton and yet Donald Trump winning. This is something really interesting. I mean, of course, it has happened before also. I think in one of the elections between Al Gore and George W. Bush, this happened. But I think in this election, more people voted for Hillary Clinton and yet Donald Trump won because the election was all about Donald Trump. It was all about Donald Trump. You see the media coverage, it was all about Trump. And even though a lot of it was against Trump, the energy was going to Trump. And so that I think showed its effects in the ultimate result. The second thing that I want to talk about is whether Donald Trump himself influenced the outcome of the election by his own way of talking, his own way of thinking. And I think the answer is yes, he did. I would just like to say two things. The first is when he talks, he doesn't use very heavy words. He's not like your everyday politician who tries to appear very smart, who tries to use very heavy words, appear very erudite. No, not at all. He uses words that are everyday words. He uses words that he's a real estate guy. He's not a polished politician. So he uses words that he probably uses at home, probably uses with his colleagues in his office. So he would be like, it's huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be really huge. You'll see. It'll be a wonderful thing. It'll be phenomenal. So he'll be using these kinds of words and he'll constantly be repeating them. So of course, like every politician, he'll be repeating the same speeches everywhere he gives them. But also in one speech, he'll be repeating these particular positive words so many times. It's incredible. And he was ridiculed for this. People actually had a counter in place that, okay, now this is a 15-minute Donald Trump speech. Let's see how many times he says huge. But I think it does something. I'm sorry, my phone. The first time this has happened, so I'm sorry about that. So he uses all these words, it's huge, it's huge, it's huge. Oh, you'll see, and I think that does something to his mind, that you are able to emit the same frequency. It is a frequency that you really recognize because it is in the same language that you are using in your everyday life. And you are emitting that constantly and continuously and with a lot of belief. And I believe Donald Trump has this ability that a lot of other really successful people also have, to ignore the reality and just be able to, first of all, constantly believe in their own version of the reality and also project that into the world. And I know of certain other personalities also that are famous for doing this. And if you would like to, see more videos of whether those people, for their success, law of attraction can be attributed, you let me know. I'll make more videos about them. So I think that Donald Trump's personality, for which he was ridiculed, of course, from that point of view, it was very non-politician. Like it, everybody said that it's not presidential. Look at his talks. He's just he's using such childish words. Huge and you'll see and wonderful. What is this? Is he a fifth grader or what? People said these things. But I think because he used the language that he's familiar with, it's his natural language. Instead of a speechwriter giving him words that are difficult for him or for anybody for that matter, he used words that are everyday words. And I think, first of all, using those words and then repeating those words created a really big difference. So it is my belief that knowingly or unknowingly, either Donald Trump knows the law of attraction and he's intentionally applying it by doing all the things that we just talked about, or unknowingly, it's just his personality that leads to the law of attraction automatically getting applied in his favor. So, either knowingly or unknowingly, I believe that the law of attraction is being applied in favor of Donald Trump by Donald Trump. And of course, in this election, everybody helped him by giving in all the energy. And I feel that, of course, while both the candidates had very competent teams, and Donald Trump's team have to be given credit, Donald Trump has to be given credit for all the hard work that he probably put in. All of it is there. I'm not saying that the law of attraction was the only factor, but I'm sure that law of attraction at least was a major factor that led to the result of the election as it is. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button. If you have any queries or feedback, please use the comment section below, and make sure you subscribe, because now I am frequently posting videos about the law of attraction and also on other topics, and it will be just wonderful to connect with you in a better way. As usual, it was a pleasure to talk to you guys in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.